Welcome, warriors of God. Today's transmission is for those of you who are feeling called to be seen, to put yourself out there. However, you're not making any progress here. You're either not putting yourself out there in the way that you want. That could be at any capacity, whether it's sharing on, platforms like you, art, your business, whatever the case may be. I want you to hear me when I say this. You were never meant to stay hidden. That discomfort you feel, that doubt creeping in, that is not an accident. The opposition has placed energy vampires in your life. People designed to trigger your deepest wounds. Why? Because the more disconnected you are from yourself, the easier you are to control. And I know this because I've lived it. But today we are breaking that cycle. Today we reclaim the truth of who you are. Yes, who you are. You are an important person. The message I received today from the Oracle is as following. The world is shifting and so are you. The number 4 vibrates today, reminding us of foundation, stability, and self-worth. The question is, will you build your foundation on the wounds of your past? Or will you build it on the truth of your divine nature? God has placed you here with a unique gift. But you must first recognize it before the world can reflect it back to you. You must learn to see yourself. Many of you are under spiritual attack, not by accident, but because you're stepping into your higher calling. The opposition wants you to fear your own brilliance. It wants you to stay small, to shrink back when insecurity arises. But that power within you was never meant to be hidden, that light. It's time to step forward, no longer shackled by the fear of rejection. Here is my reality check. Energy vampires did not just appear in your life by accident, okay? This is not some, Hollywood movie with or TV show with, these vampires hanging out in layers and underground and only attack you at nighttime. No, these vampires are real. They will suck your energy anywhere. Sun's out, buns out at the pool. They're there. They are not afraid and not controlled in ways that we've been taught about vampires. They're not even afraid of signs of God. If you don't energetically match that symbol. And we'll get into that another time. I don't want to digress down there. Think about this. You have desired to be seen, to express your truth, to live your life to the fullest. But every time you try, you experience some discomfort. Negative emotions cloud your mind, fear, anxiety, doubt. Something comes up with your family, your kids. You don't have the equipment. There's always something. And you ask yourself, well, why does this feel so hard? Why do I sabotage my own visibility, my own calling to do something greater with my life? And here's the truth. When you don't fully see yourself, it's difficult to allow others to see you. And when you haven't identified your own value, you unconsciously block other people from recognizing. You cloak yourself, essentially. A lot of you that I'm speaking to are, I know it. I know who you are because I remember my mission and why I'm here. And I can tell you that you are meant to do great things. And not just great things on the mission to help wake people up, because that is the greatest, but you're meant to do it in your own unique, magnificent way. I wish you could see what I see when I think about all of you, but I know that you will soon. All right. So let's try something. Right now, I want you to go grab a piece of paper and a pen, whatever works. And, pause this video real quick. Come back. All right? If you're back, sitting down, relaxing, I want you to write down at least 5 things that make you personally incredible. And listen, I don't care if it's, I make the best tacos on the planet, or my playlist curation skills are divine. Whatever is true for you, write it down. It could be your magnetic smile. It could be, your laugh, your kindness, whatever the 5 most incredible things about you. Let's start there. So as you're writing that, here's the thing. Most of us have spent years hearing what's wrong with us. Our childhood, our parents, even when they weren't trying to do damage. I almost said my name here. Oops. Well, just, you're always so forgetful. You're lazy. You left the door open. Did you grow up in a barn? You never clean up after yourself. Like, those of us who are parents, we can relate to this, and we need to be aware of that, because these are seeds that we are sowing, okay? Of showing people, like we were shown, of what's wrong with us. But when's the last time you sat down and acknowledged what's right about you? And not in a conversation with some toxic energy vampire when they are flipping the script on you and now you're defending yourself. That's not what I mean, because that is you giving your precious energy away. If you're doing that, you need to stop now. Never justify or explain who you are to these people, because they eat it up. They want you to do it. Okay, back to rejection. So many of us have had rejection wounds that start typically in childhood. Your parent, your friend, some moment of embarrassment. That's when your ego took the pain, and what it did is it created a rule within your energy field. And this rule, being seen, is dangerous. It's unsafe. If I put myself out there, I will be rejected again. Whether that's telling someone you have feelings for them and they tell you they don't like you back, an outfit you wore, a piece of art, sports, trying out for something. If you had experienced many of those things along with a narrative in your life that also reminds you of all the things you do wrong, the chances are you do have a huge rejection wound. But the ego cannot see beyond what it knows. It cannot see the future, only the past. So it convinces you that rejection is inevitable even when it's not. Okay? I have had this. I had someone very close to me call my greatest accomplishments in life a hobby, and said I failed at them because I didn't reach a certain success as other financial success as some of my peers have. That individual was not only deepening my rejection wound, right? That person knew what they were doing. If I didn't have that wound, I would have laughed in that person's face or simply forgotten about it. These situations of rejection, perceived criticism, someone maligning your character, the ego, that rule that it's not safe to be seen, it's like a magnet, and it just holds on to all that stuff. Think of like a magnet. And that's the rule. It's not safe to be seen. And all of the paper clips on your desk are things that people have said to you. Probably hard to remember equally as many great things as people said about you. Okay? You need to look at that. Let me say this clearly. The rejection you fear does not have to exist in your future. Okay? You get to decide what exists in your future. You do not have to relive the wounds of your past. God has already placed new connections, new experiences, and new opportunities on your path. That's why you're here with me. We're talking, we're communicating. You are on a new path, making connections. One that celebrates you, embraces you, and does not reject you. Nobody is perfect. We're not here to be perfect. The question is, will you step into them? Into these new opportunities, new experiences and connection? Or will you allow the echoes of your past define your future? Because you know those people that gave you all of those hurtful words and unfair criticisms, do you think they sit around and worry about that? Because I can tell you they don't. They have their own storyline. So why the hell would you hold on to them? Those are echoes of your past. Are you going to bring that with you? I'm asking you to start to learn how to drop these things. The world doesn't want us to believe in God. You know why? Because God sees you and who you actually are. God created you with your own frequency of light, with your own beingness, your you-ness. It's your quirks, your personality, your essence. You are not an accident, okay? And the opposition doesn't want us to believe there's God, because once you know there's God and God created you exactly who you're supposed to be, why would you ever care what somebody else said? You're going to care about some dude from high school who, I don't know, seems pretty unhappy with himself and peaked in 12th grade over God? Come on, that would never happen. So if you're here existing in this moment, sharing this space with me, then that alone is evidence of your worth. God does not create what is not meant to be. God looks at you as a piece of God, as a child. And you're not just the child of God, okay? You are a brave soul who chose to come here. You are a chooser. You chose to be here to help many innocent souls and many people remove the bondage of the opposition. Think about that for a moment. You are one of a kind expression, okay? And I know we hear it in school, like, everybody's unique. Oh my gosh, we're all special, okay? I understand that that's been like a narrative. Here's the problem with that. We're still looking externally to define ourselves in a way that makes us special, meaning maybe if I have this clothes, if I have a Brazilian butt lift or something, or I do this, or I take a photo of me, we have moved to external validation, and we desire to look and come across as something that probably is not genuine to who the heck you are. That's just the truth. We have to get down to the brass tacks of this. We live in a world where everybody's trying to be something. Do you question what that is you're trying to be and why? You've already accepted. You're already accepted by the highest force in existence. What more kind of validation do you need? I want you to journal this and pray about this and meditate and jump rope and skip down the street and think for yourself. Just ask yourself, what if I actually believed, okay? What if I took on the belief that the creator of everything thinks I'm amazing? What would that feel like? What would I do when I wake up in the morning? Where would I go? Who would I talk to? How would I respond? Think. Write about it. Explore it. So rejection just doesn't disappear because you're skipping down the street meditating on what I just told you to do. This is going to take some work, okay? I'm not going to lie to you guys here ever. This is about truth and getting all of us back together onto our greater mission with one another, okay? Holding hands together, stepping on to our individual stages. That is what we're here for. Rejection doesn't disappear just because you heal, okay? In fact, the more visible you become, the more opinions will be projected onto you, okay? I can tell you, as someone, what I do professionally, my work is reviewed on multiple levels. And I've been fortunate to have a lot of people that enjoy my work, but I've also have had some that have literally been, I don't understand, this makes no sense, this is terrible. I've heard it all. I've heard people speak of me and say, she's obsessed with herself. She's demanding. She's a bitch. She's manipulative. I mean, called really bad things. Now, I'm not perfect, okay? But I have been extremely determined. And because of that, I chose to put myself in a position to be more visible. That in itself alone will activate other people's rejection wounds. Okay, let's say that one more time. If you choose to be visible and put yourself out there, when others who want the same, who are not doing that, your very essence will trigger their rejection wound. Now, is that a person you need to take feedback from? No. Now listen, whatever you do might not be for somebody. Who cares? right? Every person who's done something meaningful in this world has faced rejection. Okay, we can talk about Jesus. I call him by his name, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua. 2,000 years later, we're still talking about him. He was hated, betrayed, and eventually nailed to a cross, crucified, and rejected by his own people. The truth is, the more influence you have, the more resistance you will meet. Here's the key. You don't need to protect yourself from this anymore. Okay? I have experienced such a level of betrayal, rejection. I had never been surrounded by so much toxic, negative people as I was hitting the pinnacle, milestone, dream goal of my life. And you know what? It broke me. Temporarily, it did. It activated every insecurity, every rejection wound, and I realized I've been walking around with this tough facade that nothing could take me down. And it wasn't true. So like I'm calling you to make yourself visible right now, I'm walking with you and doing the same. Here I stay anonymous. It's very important for safety of things and a bunch of other stuff. But professionally, I'm going to be doing this with you. Together, we're holding hands and we're stepping onto the center stage of our life and we're taking our power back and we're going to learn to not care who rejects us, who betrays us. You do not need to live in fear of criticism. Instead, you accept that with visibility. Now, whether that's on a big media platform, in your house, in your neighborhood, on your basketball team, you accept visibility comes with a mix of love and opposition. So there's healthy opposition that helps you grow, and even the negative energy soul-sucking vampire opposition is serving you when you step into your own power. And you free yourself from the need to control how others respond to you. Do not care if people talk about you behind your back or what they say. That's not your problem. I need you to stop. When I hear people say things like, get my name out of your mouth or whatever, let them do it. Why would you waste your energy on some hateful person? A person sitting in their basement, typing on their computer, all these negative Yelp reviews across life. Let them. That's miserable. Why would you feed that sick, deranged monster? Your mission overpowers your insecurities. At some point, you must understand that what you are here to do is more important than how you feel about yourself. Your purpose must become more powerful than your self-doubt. I spent years behind the scenes working with people that you know, people whose names are everywhere. I saw how that system feeds insecurity and how it rewards those who stay small and punishes those who try to break free. And this system with these people, it's not just the well-known famous people. It's all of the other people trying to break in. They change who they are. They might have had a chance to, say, audition for this job, but instead of being who they are, they try to mimic somebody else's performance and work, and it doesn't work. Nobody wants that. What's most magnetic is you being the most you-ist. And it will bring all the love and it will bring all the hate. But what it will bring you is a massive amount of satisfaction, abundance, happiness, joy, all of the things, because you're actually living the way you're supposed to. So I want you to ask yourself, what lives could change if you stopped shrinking yourself? What ripple effect could you create in this world with one person, 100,000, million, billion, if you allowed yourself to be seen? How many people need to hear from you, see something from you, learn something from you? Your mission needs to take priority over your insecurities. This is just so important. There's no more time to waste. It's time to do that shadow work. Look within, forgive yourself, forgive others. Figure out some things that you need to do to just fully leap into this next part of your life. Do it even if you're scared. Warriors of God, hear me. This is your moment. You can choose to keep waiting, keep doubting, keep questioning, or you can decide right now that you will no longer allow the past to dictate your future. You already have been called. You have already been chosen, and you have already chosen to be brave and be here. All that's left is for you to take that first step. Are you ready? Transmission complete. I leave you with this truth. The time is now. The mission is clear. Let us rise. This is Commander of Saviors.